Richard Centurion from Glaukos, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little about what glaucoma is and the challenges in its management.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah, glaucoma is a common eye condition where the optic nerve, which connects the eye to the brain, becomes damaged. So it's usually caused by fluid building up in the front part of the eye. At the same time, increases the intraocular pressure, and that can lead to loss of vision if it's not diagnosed and treated correctly. So basically, if glaucoma progresses, that can lead to blindness.
But well, who is affected by this and how can it be managed?
Yeah, so basically individuals with high intraocular pressure. I don't want to say people normally about 40 years old, but the older the person, the more likely to develop glaucoma.
And when it comes to treating this, what are the options?
The options are medication, obviously, and our stent. So our stent is a breakthrough, and it's implanted in the trabecular meshwork and deviates the fluids from there to the Enslem canal, so that it reduces the fluids in the eye, and as a consequence, the IOP, which is the intraocular pressure.
Okay, so this takes the pressure off the eye and then the nerve, and hopefully preserves vision.
Exactly, and as well, reduces medication use as well. And some of our patients are in an age stage that it's very difficult even to just put a drop on the eye. So anything that goes into that facilitation improves also adherence to other treatments as well. So it goes all in one year.
And tell us a little about your own background and your work at Glaukos.
Yeah, so I'm a health economist by trainer. I studied economics and health economics at Erasmus University in Rotterdam. Graduated a long time ago, and my first job was first of all, I was teaching mathematics for 2 years at Erasmus University here. Then I moved to Sweden part-time for 4 years, where I worked as a reimbursement consultant for Synergis. Back then, there was not much information about healthcare systems in regards to medical device introduction. So we created most of the know-how in-house back then, so country by country. Then I moved back to the Netherlands full-time, and I was hired by Hardware, a company that developed left ventricular assist devices. And that company was bought later on by Medtronic, where I stayed for some time as well. And afterwards, I moved into robotic surgery for 3-4 years with Intuitive Surgical. And I joined Glaukos last year, July, so almost a year.
Okay, so you have a lot of experience engaging with policymakers and reimbursement professionals, in this case about glaucoma treatment. So what are the kind of challenges that you have in communicating with them about the value of these minimally invasive technologies?
Yeah, so value is relative, and it depends on the stakeholder we engage in. So we cannot always go to this with the same message to a patient, to the same message to a payer, a provider, a policymaker, or a physician. So they're looking into different type of variables, and it's always important to differentiate, first of all, the message we want to transfer to each of them, but also how they perceive value. And that's where ValueConnected comes into place, because we have a significant amount of evidence, and the best way to portray that evidence is to highlight the value of each of these items we want to transfer, right? And we can talk about safety, we can talk about efficacy, we can talk about efficiency, but they will not always look into the same type of variable. Potentially a doctor will be looking into the quality, right, and safety of the procedure for these patients. The policymaker will be looking into whether it's affordable, same as a payer. So that's the kind of questions we need to address, and we need to direct our efforts and data collections to be able to be prepared upfront to deal with this kind of challenges.
And what prompted you to contact ValueConnected to help you overcome some of these challenges?
ValueConnected, I'm working with Ernesto for 10 years now. So back then when I was working for Hardware with artificial hearts, he helped us in Germany. Afterwards with Intuitive Surgical for robotic surgery. And what I like about Ernesto is that he's very versatile in his approach, and he can cover a good understanding of different healthcare systems across the globe. So he has performed projects for us in Brazil. He has performed projects for us in the UK, in the Netherlands. So, and not only reimbursement landscapes, what I like about ValueConnected is that it goes beyond the classic conservative, traditional reimbursement and tries to be upfront into understanding what are the latest trends in what the stakeholder is looking for, right? As we progress. Before, everything was clinical. Afterwards, it moves to more a financial decision making, in which cost-effective models were important, still important, but now everything is just focused on value.
And you mentioned that different stakeholders might have different perceptions of value. If they're a healthcare professional or a payer, HTA, patients have another perspective. Are there also different perspectives between countries? Maybe in the Netherlands, it's different to the UK or to France or to Sweden.
Yeah, absolutely. We know HTAs are important in the process. HTAs do not focus in the same criteria in the UK than in Germany. Germany focus more on quality. NICE in the UK focus more on cost. We'll have HTAs in the Nordics that will focus more on the quality of life of the patient and so on. So, and they will look into different ways, different methods to assess the affordability of a technology and how it can be best introduced in a market, given the structure that they have. So if we look into a market that has DRG-based payment, if you look into a market that has medical or device-specific reimbursement or global budget, the approach is going to be very different. And the stakeholder, as a consequence, will be dealing with different type of questions. And those models, those value messages need to be customized to each of the stakeholders, but also to each of the country requirements as well.
And how did ValueConnected help you to get those tailored messages for each different stakeholder in different environments?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I expressed before, ValueConnected went really beyond what it was asked to deliver. I also like the fact that they're looking into the future. So digitalization of the deliveries of market access tools, health economic tools. So it is going a step forward, and also as an organization, it helped us to be up to date and think, hey, this is the way it's going to be done. If you look into a global core value this year, we used to spend months, up to 6 months sometimes in the past. Now with artificial intelligence, it can be done in half an hour. Obviously, quality is very important, but it is also important to address that we can no longer wait for 6 months to have a dossier, because the time span of the technology is not that long anyway. So by the time we get what we want, potentially there will be a new technology in the market. So we really need to be very fast.
Okay, and in medical technology, do you find that particularly important because of the innovation life cycle? As you said, it can be quite short. So yeah, speed is of the essence while still being accurate and high quality.
Yeah, we need to be very fast. And not only that lifespan of a product, but also competition, right?
Okay, so yeah, the new players are coming all the time with different technologies.
Absolutely.
And indeed, maybe your own technologies are coming, future technologies that are in the pipeline at the moment. So tell us now, what do you think are the next steps for this product line and for glaucoma treatment, and also for your engagement with ValueConnected in the future?
Yeah, so we have a series of products that will come into the market. I'm not allowed to discuss, but they're very promising, and obviously always looking into improving the quality of life of our patients in the medical field we are experts in. But I think that ValueConnected can offer, given the product pipeline that we have, is not only focusing on the device pathway. ValueConnected has also understanding of the pharmaceutical pathway, and some of our technologies are a bit in between. So having this good understanding of both, it's very important to be able to have a full successful launching strategy.
Okay, and in general, do you find that the lines between medtech and pharma maybe are blurred a little, and you've got hybrid products that are complementary?
Potentially they are, but we also need to follow what the regulatory state.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Richard, for all of that. That was really interesting to hear your perspective, and wishing you continued success and continued partnership with ValueConnected. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.